you can't consider marketing in isolation. Marketing has to be integrated into the platform with which you are raising money. It has to be easy for the investor. Of course, I'm biased, right? A large part of what we do is make it easy for investors to invest via debit card, via ACH, check, and wire transfer. The debit card is huge for the younger generation, you know, the millennials in particular. And it is, if you have a debit card, it is the easiest way to invest quickly and get it done. So you've got things like that. It has to be well organized. It has to be a nice, easy user interface. We do those things. We put a lot of emphasis on that. Of course, here I am plugging away at how great we are. Pardon me for that. But it also matters to intelligently integrate the website tracking of the marketing influx from your advertising. So social media advertising is the primary source of cost-effective outreach to new investors. Email is a dog generally, and I could get into more detail on that, but that's okay. We bring in a marketing agency or more than one till we find a great fit. The marketing agency works for you, and we help you direct them to do an excellent job. When they bring in potential investors, that we need to know, we need to tie, and we do tie, the information from which ad, which campaign, which target audience, on what occasion brought in that potential investor. And then we track them to see what they do. If they do nothing much, then we know we're not too excited about that ad campaign, right? If we get a lot of investors putting in a larger amount of money, we go back and we see which ads, which campaigns, which target audiences tied into that. And we crank up the spend there and turn down the spend on the ineffective ones. Having that integration is essential. And you know, you guys probably are fully aware of this, but when you're working with Google AdWords, which isn't as effective as social media, but when you're using any of these online instruments to raise money, they can only, to the extent you're using optimization algorithms and methodology, particularly in Facebook and Instagram, they can only optimize against something which lots of people do, which happens on the occasion when the potential investor arrives on your site or on the offering platform. So what are you going to do? I mean, you can't expect them to invest. The number of people who invest immediately upon arrival, first visit, is very slim, of course. Some people do it, but it is slim. To get the numbers up to where optimization can work, it's got to be something easier. So we grab the email from people before we allow them to see the investment process, and we get a very high penetration rate there. And that email, gathering of that email, then the advertising software algorithms are optimizing to that, which can be entirely useless if tire kickers who can't afford to invest are giving us their email, which is where the back end bit comes in, right? Got to integrate those together. Okay, so outreach marketing, it's got to be very direct, it's got to be straightforward. You have to leverage the fact, it has to be the case that your offering is compelling and attractive and can be explained quickly in a few words, right? And by imagery. Not every company can be explained in that way. So that's a big piece of the puzzle when it comes to making this work. Okay, now I'll move on to, actually on marketing, you should expect, not initially, you should expect more inefficient marketing at the beginning, where all the tuning is being done, optimizing the various things I just touched on. So the front-loaded spend is going to be more expensive, more inefficient. But as you build an audience, build a following, build an email list with which to follow up with people that are engaged and interested and contemplating investing in your company, then the efficiency can increase significantly as we go forward. And so there are certainly marketing agencies that expect that you should spend at least 10% of capital raised just on marketing. I don't subscribe to that program. I believe it can be and should be doable at a far lower price. I think goaling it down as low as possible is what we have to do. And 3, 4, 5, 6% is where I'd like to see it, and we've had success with that. Certainly, you know, it isn't always going to be that low, but that's what we strive for.